This is not good.
The too long don't watch of this video is that I put this up in the sky. I lost connection on the Smart Controller. I resolved that problem and I got some awesome 360 footage in a beautiful location here in Essex in the UK. That's the too long don't watch. This is a bit of a long video. If you want to watch it, watch the story of the day unfold and see some amazing footage from this camera, then continue watching. So if you do like my content, I really appreciate you hitting like and subscribe either now or later on in the video. It would be so much appreciated. So as I said in the intro, this is the Insta360 One R. This is the Mavic 2 Pro. I'm an experienced drone pilot with this as I use it for weddings and cinematography, so I felt confident piloting this drone with this camera attached. I've never done it before, and in this video it's the first time that I did it. So I wanted to get used to using this camera, just test out the editing software, etc., because that's new to me. I wanted to create a little story as well along the way of me actually doing that. I really hope that you enjoy it. I had 3 cameras rolling. It's been a mammoth edit. It's essentially a GoPro buckle mount on the top with some electrical tape and a cable tie keeping this thing on the drone, and it actually performed really well. In the second half of the video you'll see why, because there was a massive problem that happened to me which basically made me a little bit nervous even as an experienced pilot. Everything that you see in this video was recorded legally. I've got my drone licenses, I've got insurance, and I was away from any other humans. Yeah, that's always a good tip as well, especially when you're trying out something new, right? All right, enough waffling. Let's roll the B-roll that took me ages to put together. So I popped up here, and we'll call it Church Hill. It's actually a lot sunnier than I thought it was. But this is going to be a really awesome place to test the Insta360 on the Mavic 2 Pro. I can't believe how beautiful today is. We're really going to get to test the dynamic range of the Sony ZV-1 as well, which is what I'm actually filming on right now, because I wasn't actually expecting for it to be such a clear day. It's also going to be interesting to see what the Insta360 One R looks like when it's up on the drone as well, because the sun's so bright. You know, we're all so busy, we're all so stuck in offices and we're just doing our thing all the time, you know, 100 miles an hour. Well, I am anyway. I never really get the chance to just stop and appreciate stuff. And this really got me thinking. Drones, FPV, cinematography, the quote-unquote easy to fly drones like the Mavic, right? Gets you out and about, you know, it's good for your mental health. It's definitely good for mine. I mean, look at this. You look at the news, you look at everything that's going on, and it really sort of brings everybody down, you know, with Corona, with elections and all of that. I think we just forget sometimes that this is just so beautiful. And when you're up here on your own with just a drone, what more do I need in my life right now than this? I'm so grateful that everything, all of the cases that I've got, the backpack, the flight case, the tripod cover, is all waterproof because this grass is absolutely soaking. For the first time ever, I actually invested in a landing pad. It was mainly for the FPV stuff. You know, landings are important, and when you're moving quite quickly on FPV, it's quite easy to lose your bearings. I don't know what the material's called. Is it neoprene? I don't know, whatever. It's plasticky anyway, and it folds up, and it's waterproof. For those of you that are interested in sort of vlogging stuff, the camera that you're watching me on right now is the Sony ZV-1. And I'm still sort of getting to grips with it, to be honest with you, but it's mainly for the autofocus because I film weddings and I shoot all with Panasonic GH5s. There's no autofocus, so obviously, but for things like this, you don't want to be coming up and sort of trying to manual focus all the time. And then over here, we've got carbon fiber Manfrotto at 190, which is awesome. It's really light. And this Smartry, where the Mavic 2 Pro is in here. So yeah, in case any of you are interested, I've got the Insta360 here all on the drone. And I've really, just as a note, tried to keep the Insta360 One as central as I can to the weight distribution of the drone. So the button for the battery, for example, which I sort of classify as center, I've really tried to keep the Insta One as close as I can to that. Again, I wasn't expecting it to be quite sunny today, so I would normally put an ND filter on, but because I'm actually just doing an Insta360 One shot, I am not going to bother. Just in case you were wondering, oh, you know, he calls himself a videographer, he's not even putting any ND filters on. Well, yeah, I'm not putting them on because it's about the Insta360 One. So let's put the Insta360 One on. I did set up all of the settings for the Insta360 in 5.7K. Oh, I've got to do the Mavic dance. Go, 360, woohoo! All the strangers in the distance are probably thinking he's dancing around. Insta is filming. All right, let's take off and see what we're doing here. All right, so I always get a bit nervous because, you know, the extra weight on it, so I'm just gonna sort of fly here just for a minute or two. Just make sure that it's all working. Seems to be working just fine. Looking good, not gonna go too high right now. Yep, looking good. All right, so here I am actually talking to you now through the Mavic 2 Pro, believe it or not. Let's send it up and see what sort of footage we get, shall we? It's definitely sounding all right. Let's put it up a little bit higher. Let's get some altitude on this thing. Absolutely beautiful day. Oh my God, I know I've said it already, but crikey. So I'm gonna come back to the start of the fence line. Do you know what? It's handling the Insta360 One R like an absolute champion. There I am down there. We're going to follow this fence along, and we're going to let the fence split the shot like it is doing right now. We're slightly off centre, but that's all right. It's creative. And then what we're going to do when we just get towards the end of this fence where it starts going down the hill, we're going to... Whoops, okay, I have an aircraft disconnected message, which has never happened before. This has never happened, but it's directly above my head. I have no idea why. My aircraft's connected and it's 50 feet above my head. This is not good. I don't even know what to do now it's disconnected. I mean, it's still up there. The good news is it's on a new battery, but the bad news is I have no idea how to reconnect it to get it to land. What are you doing to me, Mavic? Why are you doing this to me? Should I grab it? Should I grab it out the sky? What do I even do here?
It's Future Dave here. Well, it dawned upon me that I hadn't actually tried to restart the controller, and when I did, this is what happened. I was clearly very happy about that. Yeah, so if this happens to you, just restart the Smart Controller and it actually regained connection. I'm really grateful for DJI's safety features, to be honest with you. The fact that it didn't fly away, that it knew where it was due to land, and it came down and I got the opportunity to land it safely. I mean, if it had dropped out the sky at this point, I wouldn't have been upset because, you know, it was so close to the ground, but lesson learned all round.
I have never ever had this drone fly away from me. I've never had it disconnect mid-flight. Yeah, I've had some signal issues when I've gone out too far, right? I've sent it and it's like gone a little bit flickery on the controller, but I have never had this smart controller disconnect from this drone ever before. Everything's fully charged, all the firmwares are up to date. I even flew here just for a little bit. You even saw it, right? I flew here just to make sure everything was okay. The only different variable is the fact that it has an Insta360 One R strapped to the back of it. I'm actually going to try it one more time. I'm going to stay quite low. I'm not going to go very far. So if it does disconnect, it flies home to me, right? So let's try it again, take two, and see if I can get at least just some footage from it. We're in an open environment, it's safe to do this. So yeah, let's give this another go. It says on the controller, extended flight distance detected, always maintain visual line of sight. I mean, it didn't go more than 50 feet away from me, seriously. Yes, come on baby, come on, you know it makes sense. You know it makes sense. Down we go, down we go, down we go. Oh, lovely. We've taken up a load of grass with that. She came home, mwah. She came home. I love this drone so much. Let's get a thumbnail. It came back, everybody, yes, yes. Well, you know, I'm an experienced drone pilot. I've got my license and everything like that. I've been flying drones and shooting weddings and cinematography and everything for a couple of years. I've never had that happen to me before. Obviously, you would have seen some of the Insta360 One footage by now. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, it just goes to show you that no matter how experienced you are, you need to be prepared for all situations. And you know what, today, I wasn't prepared for my controller to disconnect. I didn't even know what to do in that situation. I'm just grateful that the drone didn't fall out of the sky and that I wasn't around any people, you know, over a road, in the garden with my child running around. And that's what the regulations are there for. So a big message here really is know your equipment, stay calm under pressure, have fun, follow the rules. Yeah, I hope that that's the takeaway for everyone. If you enjoyed this, then please hit a like. So feel free to subscribe for more drone stuff. See you in the next one.